Yo, welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It is the 29th of, well, it's Wednesday the 29th of July 2015, and I'm your host Ant-Man, and I have a article from christianpost.com in front of me under the column US. It is by Samuel Smith, and it was published yesterday at 11:35 p.m. The thumbnail here is of a football team, Chestatee High School football team. Heaven forbid you should pray before a game or do anything that has to do with prayer or Christianity. Georgia School District forced to pay atheist group $22,500 in lawsuit over coach-led team prayers. You know, with the new stuff that's kind of like coming out these days with Planned Parenthood and the atheists having to file lawsuits over everything, they're taking advantage of you Christians out there that aren't standing up for your rights. These atheists and these homosexuals out there are way more vigilant than you at using this at the state level, the government to be doing stuff. You know what I mean? Toward you. For example, this entire atheistic group, this atheist mafia or whatever they are, they're a state-funded religion. You guys, they're such hypocrites because they talk about separation of church and state and how bad they misinterpret that entire letter to a church, by the way. And they do the same thing. They use the state to back up their religious ideologies. And since we don't call them out too much on this, it's only because it's like rhetoric that's only pointed toward Christians. But we need to stand up to them because they're making a bunch of like careers, it seems, out of what we believe in. They're making money off of all taxpayers and especially anyone who has any type of Christian religious conviction. They have religious convictions too, you know. So where's the separation of church and state misrepresentation that they always, bring up? Now, where's it at now? It's a double standard. They're hypocrites, and they're using any excuse that they can to demonize and point at us as like the way to profit off of us or a way to demonize us. They're going to do it because the atheists and the Satanists are darkness, and darkness joins with darkness, and that's why we have so many different people. We have so many fronts where we're fighting on as to, we're trying to keep the sanctity of human life. You know what I mean? We're trying to lift that up right now. We're trying to lift up God. Say that that this nation was built on the foundation of the Word of God. That you cannot change history. Sorry, atheists, that's the fact. That's the truth. All laws are based on the morals that are taught in the Bible and that are written on your heart. That's why you don't even need to read the Bible to know that murder is real, because it makes the Bible even testify that it's even true. It's infallible because you see it all out here in the practical things that you do, like that. You know what I mean? It's all in your face, and it's all right there to show that you are a hypocrite and that you hide behind a corrupt system to push either an agenda or you just like making money off of people in a corrupt way. The Bible says better is a little with, righteousness than great revenues, gaining it by deceitfulness and gaining it through injustice and all the rest. It's really amazing that, since if you're pre-trib rapture, you fall into the category where I'm suspicious of you as a Christian. I think that you don't care about anything because you think that Jesus is just going to come and save us. But in my opinion, when you actually read the Bible correctly, you see that we go through tribulation. And we're going to go through tribulation because of what? One of the most famous quotes, because good men and women sit around and that's not exactly the phrase there. It's not exactly the quote, but they sit around on their smartphones and they look at stuff that doesn't even do them any good all day. That's why. And hey, Jesus is he's going to come home when it gets real bad anyway, so hey, why do you care? You should do something to raise awareness. I'm not saying that we're going to make the country better. I'm not saying that we can restore it. I don't know. You never know until you try. But what I am saying is you could raise awareness to the truth. You could use all of this as an opportunity to present the gospel. That's most likely and truly the most effective thing to do with all of this, and I would be tactful. I would want to lead people to the Lord. But you need to remember that you don't separate law from grace, and that if someone's arrogant and boastful and ignorant and wants to be hateful, you show them the law, but you go about it in the way Jesus did with the rich young ruler, right? Amen? And if someone is saying, if someone is looking for grace, give them grace. The good news is for those that are mourn, that are, you know what I mean, like the Sermon on the Mount. Go read Matthew 5. All those people have the promises of God. All those people that are looking for a second chance, looking for God to save them. But the proud and the arrogant need to be shown the law. Don't give in to this stuff that we're being, pushed in a corner into these days. We're not allowed to call sin sin, and we're not allowed to say these things. Don't get pushed into that corner. Political correctness is one of the things that is destroying our country. Be against it. All right, big long intro, but let me get into this article now. A public school district in Georgia, you need to get out of public school, there's your first problem, will have to pay a humanist organization $22,500 through its insurance carriers after the organization sued the school system over allegations that local high school coaches led their teams in prayers, heaven forbid. Oh, I thought God didn't exist, atheist, why so mad? And included biblical passages on official team logbooks and promotional banners. We're not allowed to pray in public, but they're allowed to teach evolution in the classrooms as something that's never been proven and is a religion that requires blind faith. That's really amazing. What happened to separation of church and state again, guys? Hypocrites. In December, the American Humanist Association filed a lawsuit against the Hall County School District. You put the. I don't want to say hate because that's too much of a strong word. I really dislike the way they format this this website. It refreshes itself all the time. It's weird. I don't like to throw the word like whore or like hate or like love around. You know what I mean? I don't like to throw those words around. They're very powerful words and should be used very like reverently, I think. Like you should never just say you love someone. You should show them that. You know what I mean? If you're just telling someone you love them and you're like, you better believe me about it. I don't know if you love them too much. You're probably more into it for yourself. I don't know. Figure that out. Anyway, I'll read that entire sentence over. In December, the American Humanist Association filed a lawsuit against the Hall County School District in Gainesville, Georgia, over the district's practices of allowing coaches and other faculty to lead in team prayer during official school events and allowing Bible verses to be printed on team documents. Don't be intimidated by the atheists. These guys don't present any type of intellectual struggle or battle at all. It's not even considered to me a threat. It's more of like I don't even know how to describe it. But if they want to make a big deal out of these things, make it a big deal. Go to court. They can't, win constitutionally if you have good arguments. And if you don't have good arguments, I'm starting to think you're pre-trib. You know what I mean? You're one of those guys that doesn't care too much about what's going on these days. You know what I mean? You're like, well, Jesus is coming back, so what's the point? I thought we're not supposed to care about politics. Okay, well, it's not going to get any better, and it's not going to get any more encouraging to see people just, government. No, don't be scared of the government. I like how I listened to one sermon from Vodi Bakum, and it changed my life. I listened to so many sermons, but I only had to listen to one from Vodi Bakum because that's how good he is. Suffer for the gospel. Suffer for the gospel. Don't pretend like you're made to be in this secure little comfortable lifestyle as a Christian. Suffer for the gospel. Bring glory to Jesus Christ. Have faith in him that he will do good with whatever it is that he's allowing you to go through. I have a lot of trouble with that too. We need to have more of a focus on God being with us than wanting his things. We want to desire him more than his things. He's not a genie. He's a living God. He's a person, and he wants personal, intimate fellowship with us. When we realize how powerful it is to have God with us and all that we go through, you realize how he will allow you through his grace, and he will strengthen you enough for you to go through it. He'll give you sufficient strength and grace for the things of the day. It really is true. So the lawsuit alleges, after sending warning letters to the school district last August, the lawsuit called out the prayer traditions of various athletic teams from Chestatee High School and North Hall High School. I'd say keep praying, and if they throw you in jail, I guess we're all going to jail. Why are you afraid? The lawsuit alleges that Chestatee coaches have on many occasions led their teams in prayer during games and practices. The lawsuit also alleges the school's coaches have led in prayers for over 5 years. The litigation cites that the school's wrestling coach and marching band director have also led their squads in prayer, while the wrestling coach allegedly cited Ephesians 6:12 to explain to his team that Jesus was a wrestler. The Chestatee marching band director allowed the marching band to elect student chaplains. Along with the allegation that the North Hall baseball coach led his team in prayer, the lawsuit adds that the Chestatee football coaches included a citation to Galatians 6:9 at the bottom of workout logs that were given to each student athlete, and also allowed Proverbs 27:17 to be included on a banner used at a game. Oh, heaven forbid you should put wisdom on the students' homework. Heaven forbid you should actually give them wisdom to meditate on. In addition to suing the school district, the lawsuit also lists District Superintendent William Schofield and Chestatee High Principal Suzanne Gerard as defendants in their official and individual capacities. AHA's Pignani Humanist Legal Center announced last week that the case was settled outside of court. The terms of the settlement require the school district to pay the plaintiff's legal fees, which amount to $22,500, and requires the district to host a training session for its employees before the start of next school year to educate them on First Amendment rights and religious neutrality in school. We need to educate the atheists about the Constitution and about what America's all about, because they are the most un-American, traitorous people that we have here. They're among them. Schofield asserted in a statement that the district will not be paying the $22,500 as its insurance carriers will be footing the bill. The Hall County School District admits to no violations of state or federal laws, Schofield said. The district will continue to hold the expectation that individuals within our organization abide by the laws of our land. The Hall County School District will make no monetary compensation to the plaintiffs. Insurance carriers are negotiating all questions regarding legal fees. Although the school district admits no wrong when it comes to violating federal and state laws, Schofield admitted that the training for employees on what their limitations to freedom of religion are while acting in official capacity is necessary. All parties agreed it is paramount that the Constitution of the United States is protected and upheld. Schofield wrote, furthermore, in a manner similar, it's refreshing again. In a manner similar to the routine training provided to staff in areas such as child abuse, reporting on the security of personal records, we agree that routine professional training for staff should include the legal rights and responsibilities of individuals regarding issues related to religion in the public school setting. While public school students are guaranteed wide-ranging religious freedoms, employees' rights are more limited when in their work settings. AHA Executive Director Roy Speckhart said in a statement that he sees the agreement as a major victory for the separation of church and state. When public schools remain secular, they uphold the rights of all students to learn free from unnecessary religious intrusion. Speckhart stated, you don't protect them from evolution, which is unprovable and a stupid theory. It doesn't qualify to be even a theory because you don't have anything to observe. It's bananas, if you will. It's really bad. It's really a hypocrisy that we need to fix. And it starts with defending the Constitution and speaking up for the gospel. You just want to avoid suffering for the Lord. If that's what you're doing, show your good works and lead people to God with your good works and with your grace and gentleness and all the fruit of the Spirit. But don't be ashamed of the gospel. Proclaim it and do it for their sake, because they probably have never heard it. And the atheists only come after us because we're benign. We don't fight nobody. We don't force nothing on anybody. They like to falsely accuse us of that. But, I would like to see them act like how they act toward us, toward the Muslims, and see how they like that. I guarantee you that they won't be wanting to pick a fight with them because they don't really want it. When public schools remain secular, the AHA was also victorious earlier this month in a lawsuit against Mississippi's third largest school district. The lawsuit accused the Rankin County School District of violating the First Amendment right of an atheist student who thought she was required to attend a county-wide honors assembly, which opened up with a prayer by a Methodist minister. As a result of the lawsuit, the school district had to pay $7,500 to the 16-year-old atheist student, while it is still liable to pay more in legal fees. You see what I'm saying? And I get money. Don't fall for this, man. Like, seriously, don't let them screw you like this. If you guys are Christians, start reading your Bible more and praying more so that you're not given to this timidity that God did not put in you. give you a sound mind, power, and love. God bless you.